Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We're setting the scores for the beginning of the round. And round one's pretty intense. Things have changed a little bit. The importance of going first really came into play here. Japanese first, Germany, Britain, America, Soviets, Italians, and then the Chinese.
オーストラリアにどれだけの人的資源を投入し、アメリカ軍が向かってくるのを防ぐのにどれだけの投資をすべきか。今、我々は散らばった軍隊を中央集権化し始め、アメリカと共に侵略者になりたいと思っている。前回は素晴らしい結果を残したが、それが続くふりをするわけにはいかない。
Yeah. Japan is trying to really hold back the Americans from pushing in. But at the same time, they got to keep moving on the left side for the British. Right now, the really big pusher now is what happens to Australia. And how do the Japanese prepare for the American war machine coming in? Pretty much the Navy side of it. Still fighting over Solomon's Island. Nothing resolved there yet. And then a push was made to go into, was it G25?
Wir planen einen Surprise-Angriff in Großbritannien und müssen anfangen, defensiver um Finnland herum zu sein. Wir wollen unsere Armeen zwar nicht zu sehr zerstreuen, aber wir wollen damit beginnen, den italienischen Vorstoß im Nahen Osten zu unterstützen. Der Angriff auf Briten verläuft hoffentlich erfolgreich, und wir übernehmen die Türkei. Die erste Runde war nicht die beste, und mit unserem aggressiven Vorstoß werden wir hoffentlich die britische Moral brechen.
Yeah, it's really interesting is the Germans are pushing really hard into Britain, all their bombers and fighters trying to see what that can do. At the same time, trying to take over neutral territory, which is in the, I think that's Turkey, to get access into the lower side there. Taking a big gamble here, see how it plays off. They're also getting more defensive to hold off the
Bloody
Russians.
hell, mate. The hell happened in Egypt? Drinking a cup of tea, eh? My dad's was not the best, but whatever. Strategy is to build quick and pushing back in South Africa. Australia, maybe we can play a little aggressive, but this is my first game, mate. Do a little cup of tea.
All my British fans, once again, there's like 40 different accents there, but hey, that's the reality of how the game goes. Irish, English, Scottish, whatever, I don't care. Help me, please.
Pushing to Japan will be crucial. We are sending our fleets over in the hopes that we can push the Japanese from spreading to the small islands. I'm not as focused on the European front, but I hope Britain and Soviets can hold off for one more round. We're sending them small ground force, but other than that, our focus is in the Pacific.
Look, it's boring watching pieces move, so might as well add a little story to it. But yes, the Americans are pushing in. They're going to try to go right for Japan. And I'm not really sure what they're going to do down here. Are they going to go into Australia, or are they just going to try to clear these islands out? But the fighting's still going on there. And there's a big battleship Navy fight there that's going to be happening, which is pretty interesting to see how that plays out.
Мы не готовы вернуть Кокус, но нам нужно будет послать туда какое-то подкрепление, и сейчас основное внимание уделяется Беларуси, а также Финляндии. Наша линия фронта сильна, но японцы могут увидеть возможность занять тыл, о чем всегда думают. Если мы сможем взять эти два сектора, то мы будем считать это хорошим выигрышем. Но, черт возьми, это тяжелый матч.
Yeah, fighting for Finland, Belarus. In the Caucasus, the Russians are really getting aggressive this round, just trying to regain the territories and also kind of put a little pressure on the Germans. Interesting how it's playing out, because the Germans on the back end, they're not really doing the best with the Middle East right now in South Africa.
In questo momento, il piano è quello di iniziare a prendere parti del Sudafrica per ottenere l'industria lì, in particolare l'Egitto e il Medio Oriente. Abbiamo bisogno di più risorse per avere una possibilità e possiamo sentire che la nostra produzione non terrà il passo con le nostre causalità. Inoltre, useremo la nostra marina per fare un raid costiero in Egitto per dissanguare gli inglesi di risorse.
我們拿了一個，我們失去了一個，我們需要把寧夏拿回來，然後推進到泰國。我們的體型很弱，但很煩人。我們正在分裂我們的軍隊。以利用我們現有的行動，並迫使日本處理釘釘問題。
And I did change the format a little bit here, just keep it cleaner and stuff. I do want to still keep the movements in play, just in case people catch me doing something wrong, and they can help me out. That is the total resources everybody is starting the match with. So if you guys want to pause the video, you can watch that there. And now, what we'll do is the battle's being played out. I'm just going to show you before and after, and the units that were lost. So what you can do is, here's the before, after attack, and who lost what units and how much resources it cost them, and then the total. As you see, Germans, Italy, and Soviets here. Germans. Hopefully this one keeps the battles moving forward quicker. 2 shows you the casualties and also the resource count. I just thought that might help out for some people. But as of right now, Japan takes back this section. It's called Tangching. I think it's a section Japan did get to take it back. And you can see the casualty board slowly builds up there. Japan also takes over that region. I don't know how to say it. That sounds maybe about right. Because there was nobody there as a garrison unit, and Japan gets to take over pretty easily. 1 medal for them, and 2 stress for China. China takes over, I'm sorry, not Japan. China and Japan fight over Honghang. And Japan wins that one. That's a casualty count right there, you can see if you want to pay attention. Solomon's Island. Round 2 of combat there. And it's still in battle. This is a big Navy fight here. This is Japanese. You got a battleship, air carrier, and cruiser. The Japanese actually did get to wipe out the Americans there, which is a huge loss to Americans. As this game goes on, it's interesting to see how values in certain units are more important. Here's a crazy one. Garrison unit takes out a tank from the Italian squad battalions moving into the Middle East. They kind of snuck into the Middle East. The battle there, the Axis finally took over Egypt. Here, the Germans try to take over Turkey, and they get absolutely demolished. I mean, look at the losses they dealt there. In Belarus, Russia, and Germany are fighting over this. The casualty list is there, and Germany does get to finish them off during the combat. Going up to Finland, Russia beats them out, takes over there. Germany does a crazy bomber air push there, as you can see. Germany on the left, Russia and Americans on the right. It didn't go as well as anywhere as well as we thought it would on the German side, and the British held them off pretty well. For A6, the Germans do finish that off, killing off the British battleship. The Americans sink a submarine at A8, cleaning that up there. Planes go down to land, so that's all the battles there. And now we're just gonna, I do still want to kind of show where the planes land, and that one of the big things is if I'm playing something wrong and people see they can catch it, I can come back, adjust, and move forward from there. I noticed some comments about the planes flying 3 spaces. Catch me if you see that again. But the battles are pretty wild. The fact that Turkey didn't get taken over by Germans, but at the same time maybe I was underpowered, and the huge German push into Britain, did it work? I don't know. Yes, no. Didn't feel like they did too much, accomplished too much there. But as you can see on A2 and A3, a lot of American and British soldiers moving in. And now we're going to unit placement that were produced. Britain's trying to get Australia kind of a little more fortified. Italy is just trying to get as much units back on the board as possible. Germany's building tanks, a lot of tanks. The Soviets are trying to kind of get the back fleet set up a little more here. Just 2 infantry there, an infantry and a tank here, and a bomber. 2 bombers, I think, actually. Japanese added another battleship to the fleet. No problem. And Americans, as you can see, up to the Pacific side, to the west side, they're trying to build ships. On the right side, they're just trying to build infantry. I think the idea being that if the Americans can hold the Navy and the ship there, that will play out that way. Also for the casualty board, I was like, you know what, let me show it. And if somebody sees the calculation wrong, they see it there. But right now, as you can see up top, so big losses, mainly America took the biggest hit. And right now, between Germany and Japan, it's kind of split the damage they're both taken. I don't know if these stats will help you, but I was like, why not include them? I don't see any downside to it. And that can be studied. The battles can be studied. And I think it might be just beneficial for somebody to understand how this plays out. And as you remember earlier, I showed you how much resources they're getting. So this is kind of how much resources it's costing from battle to battle. And how the attrition. I don't think this game you can rebuild stronger than what you started with. I'm not sure, but we just did round 2, so we'll see how it goes. China has the ability to just produce infantry right away and place them. 106 to reinforce in there. The British are trying to build anti-air tanks, anti-air artillery, just in case that happens again. And also in the south of Africa, they are trying to slowly reinforce. Soviets, man, just a normal standard army that can help them have force advantage of the battlefield. Also buying trade goods. A lot of the nations you'll see just start trying to buy trade goods or civilian goods. But America, again, trying to build ships in the Pacific and infantry on the Atlantic. Another trade good. What is that? 2 infantry, a tank, and I think a fighter. Bombers. Some bombers there. 2 bombers. The Japanese build another battleship and another trade good. I mean, they're just trying to get battleship heavy because they're seeing what's coming in from the Americans. There was American battleship right there. So in Japan, and they're going to try to push it back. Italy, 2 infantry, 1 tank, and 1 bomber. Again, they're trying to keep... Italy is just trying to keep consistently producing, maxing out. Do want to say, guys, thank you for watching. And I want to say thank you for Tom, too. I did buy the version 2 pack. And when I received it, I got a... quick battle box included. I thought there was a mistake. I reached out to Nightingale Games and they said, hey, we just add that in. And I appreciate it. I think that's before I even published the first video. I was just like, hey, I want to update my stuff there. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the new format more. And do we continue with round 3 or do we call it a quit now? I did turn music down. I did try to keep the battle short, but I did think that keep moving in there. You know, listen, if you speak Japanese, Chinese, Italian, German, Russian, you should have some fun. I didn't want to add subtitles. I think you should just figure out what they're saying. And if you speak that language, comment on how badly it's being translated. Thank you so much, guys. Be blessed.